On with me now is a man who runs a pretty tight ship. He's also known as the stud of the sea. It's Captain Lee from Below Deck. How you doing, Captain? Good to see you.
I'm doing well, Darren. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm excited. I needed a little brain vacation. I can't travel this year, so I wanted to go into the Caribbean, something nice, a little Antigua. So season 8 of Below Deck premiered a couple of weeks ago, and there has already been, of course, a lot of drama on your ship. But first I have to ask, how does it feel to be on your 8th season of the show?
Feels great. I love it. I don't know if any of us back in season 1 actually thought we'd be doing a season 8 or we'd have 2 spinoffs, but it's been a great ride.
And of course, the one and only Kate Chastain did not return this season. Do you miss her? And how has the energy changed without her?
Oh, of course I miss her. It's like losing your right hand. With Kate, I could just delegate, walk away, and know that it's going to get done. Now I've got to break in somebody new. They've got to get used to me. I've got to get used to them, and that's a time-consuming process.
How is the energy different? Is it just as exciting as it ever was?
Well, when you work with somebody as long as I've worked with Kate, you have that air of familiarity that takes time to get with somebody else. So
it's growing pains, Captain Lee.
Got to go through the honeymoon process.
Yeah, that's right. It's growing pains. You're in a new relationship. You're trying to figure out the do's and the don'ts. I understand here. I understand. Now, in the premiere, Deckhand Avery already decided to go home. That didn't take long. This left Eddie with James and Shane. And you seem to already be pretty annoyed with Shane, who spends a lot of time doing yoga and enjoying the boat. And this week you mentioned you were going to knock some sense into him. What is going to go down here, Captain Lee?
You mean with dude?
Exactly.
If he calls me dude one more time, like dude.
Would Captain Dude be okay? Because maybe that's slightly more professional.
That's like it's like the lights on, nobody's home. I don't know what's going on with him. He got offended. I mean, everybody else is standing there in the rain, right?
Right.
And he gets on the radio and goes, "We got some rain coming in."
You're on a boat, of course.
Nailed that one, big boy.
Nothing gets by him at all. He is sharp as a tack, that one.
I love somebody that has a flair for the obvious.
Yes. Captain Obvious, Captain Dude. You guys are going to work very well together. This week, though, we also saw James say to Eddie, "We're not here to work." What? Can't imagine you liked hearing that.
Big. Huge. That's like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, where she bought all those clothes and that other woman wouldn't even wait on her.
Yeah.
Huge mistake. Massive.
It's just not something you want to get caught saying kind of ever, but let alone to your own boss, no? Like, what did he think he was there to do?
Doesn't that make you question one's mental capabilities at that point?
Yeah.
You might have the IQ of a fence post.
Certainly not. It didn't look good for him, I will say.
No, not a good look.
Izzy ultimately true. But Izzy ultimately stepped forward and asked to join on as a deckhand, leaving her stew position behind. Ultimately, you decided to give her a chance. Why?
Well, because she had the chutzpah to step forward and say, you know something? This interior thing probably is not going to work for me. And I would feel much more comfortable, and I think I could do you a better job in the boat, a better job, if I were given a shot. And you already have a vacancy.
You're right.
The situation kind of like fell together, fortunately.
But
and I could get somebody to help Francesca out that was a little more capable.
But the transition hasn't been easy, as Izzy is trying to learn her deckhand duties while also completing her stew duties as well. But luckily, new stew Aisling arrived just in time. Can viewers expect any drama with her? I'm imagining yes.
Well, last night she came apart a little bit. Of course, she'd been up for 30 hours traveling, jet lag, and jumped right into a full-blown charter. And the laundry room looked like a bomb went off in it. It really did. It was just like, and she just, to her credit, she worked so hard that she didn't want to go to bed with the laundry room not being the way she wanted it, which says volumes about her work ethic, which is something that I put a lot of stock in.
Absolutely. It's a far cry from the other one saying that they're not here to do work. Am I right? So you got this.
Yeah. Opposite ends of the spectrum.